Okay, great. So good morning, everyone. I think we have a few more people who are going to roll in as we start, but let's go ahead and get started. Let me actually pin us so that we're a little bit more visible. Okay, so again, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for showing up for us. Thanks for showing up for yourself. And I'm going to let Rita take over. And Rita, if you just want to also share, like we missed you last week, so
Yeah, I missed you guys last week too. Yeah, so I was a little bit under the weather. So I'm somebody who usually pushes through things, but I had been pushing through things for a little bit too long, and it caught up with me. So I am sorry that I missed it, but I'm really glad to be back today. Yeah, so we can get started. I'm going to say thank you. Thank you, thank you. Change. Okay, so I'm going to move back, and we'll just take a couple minutes. Like we're chatting about music and everything, which is really cool. But just if we had like a busy morning and rushing, and we're at the end of the week now, right? I can't believe it's Thursday because it's been going by. So we can just take a couple minutes to kind of get settled onto our mat or wherever we're going to be sitting. You can sit in easy pose, or also, can you not hear me?
I can hear you, but if you could be just a little bit louder.
Can we move this up a little bit? Is that any better? Better? Okay. And I'll try to make sure I talk a little louder too. Sometimes I talk on the lower side. If you can't hear me, just raise your hand. Hopefully. So yeah, and it's easy pose, but also if you guys are more comfortable, you can sit like this too. And then if you need a block or even a towel or fold a blanket, you can put it underneath your knees. Or if you're sitting like this, you can put it underneath. Or this way, you put something underneath here, and it'll just take like the pressure off a little bit, if that helps at all. We can just take, a couple of breaths, deep breaths in, deep breath out, just getting, ourselves centered, allowing our body is here, but allowing our mind, so physically we're here, but emotionally and mentally as well. And when we arrive on our mat. Like Sonia said, we're really glad you guys are here. So thank you for showing up for us, but thank you for showing up for yourself, because we're doing a wonderful thing today. So take that in. And you can set an intention for yourself for this time for our workout. It can be related to the workout, but it can be related to anything at all. You can just set a silent intention for yourself. Just take a couple of more breaths and think about, relaxing your shoulders down. And our theme today is empowerment. And it's going to be empowered strength, but we're going to be working on our core and being conscious of our posture. We can start in easy pose, and we're just going to inhale our arms up and over. So we're going to do a couple of seated sun breaths. Inhaling our arms down, so just creating some slow, gentle movement. Inhaling our arms up and over, palms together. Now we're going to do this 2 more times. Just do it at your own pace with your breath. Inhaling up. Inhaling. And now we're going to do a gentle side bend. So just place your right hand to the right of yourself on your mat. Inhaling your left arm up and over. Walk your hand out a little bit, and you're going to feel a really nice stretch along your left side body. And take a breath here. And as we exhale, we're going to swoop our left arm down and around to the left side as we inhale our right arm up. A nice, flowing, gentle movement. You can do that again. And then again, you can just do this at your own breath, with your own breath. Keep it a nice, flowing, gentle movement. So it should feel good. And you should also be feeling a really nice stretch on your side body. Inside. Coming back in the center, and we're going to do a gentle twist. Okay, so your right hand on your, I'm doing that opposite here, your right hand on your left knee, your left arm hand behind you. You can inhale, your spine straight, and then just glance over your left shoulder. Feel that nice gentle twist. So we're just warming up on our inside, giving our internal organs a gentle massage. So then left hand on right knee, right hand behind you, inhaling. And just a gentle gaze over your right shoulder. And you can do this one more time on each side at your own pace. And think about inhaling your spine straight and keeping that over your shoulder. And then back in the middle when you're ready. And then think about keeping your core engaged. So even when we're sitting and it doesn't look like we're doing much, we're engaged. We're going to transfer now over to tabletop, which I know we've been doing a lot of over the last few weeks. So hands underneath your shoulders, hips in line with your knees, and core engaged. Sometimes we have a habit kind of slouch down. And I'm going to stay here for a breath in neutral spine, and then we're going to just ease into some cat-cows. And you can do them at your own pace. So we're inhaling on the cow, and we are exhaling on the cat when we're rounding our spine. So do 4 or 5 rounds of these at your own pace. Really letting your breath guide you and letting it be a very natural flowing movement. As we're exhaling on our cat, you can think of your spine getting pulled up towards the ceiling. Very gentle. Take it back, and then we feel play when you're ready. And if you'd like a little release, you can just reach down into your child's pose. More breath. And back into tabletop. And we're going to do a little bit more of an intense posture with that tabletop knee cover. So you're just going to curl your toes. On your inhale, you're going to pick up your knees. You don't have to pick them up far. You just see they're barely off the mat, or you can pick them up a little bit higher. We want to keep our core engaged in a straight line from our head to the crown of our head to our spine out through our body. Okay, so the big thing is to keep the core engaged. If it doesn't feel accessible for you today, our energy ebbs and flows. You can just stay in tabletop and then just think about pushing yourself off the mat with the palm of your hand. So you can kind of like lean in, and you're still getting that upper body strength that we're working on. And this should be fluid. If we start holding our breath, then we're doing too much. So our breath should stay natural and flowing throughout this. If you feel like, oh my gosh, I can barely breathe, then we're doing too much. Then you want to lower, and then you can just release back into child's pose when you're ready. So we're going to do forearm tabletop. We're just going to drop our arms down. Okay? And again, keep your core engaged, because sometimes we have a habit of doing this. The most important thing is keeping our core engaged and our spine supported. If this feels comfortable for you, you go to forearm plank just by extending our legs. So you extend your right leg, extend your left leg, and now we're in forearm plank. Or engaged. If this does not feel good for you, you can stay down on tabletop. If this doesn't feel good, by all means stay up in tabletop. The most important thing is that you're doing what works for you. Stay in forearm plank for 2 or 3 breaths. Sometimes you can find yourself sagging, which I can start doing, but really staying conscious of keeping my core engaged. And then if you want to create a little movement, we can just kind of go back and forth, rock ourselves a little bit to the right, and to the left, only if it feels good. And then we can meet back in child. You can take a breath or two in child's pose just to let your nervous system calm down. We're creating a lot of energy there, so let that energy settle in. Back into the top. We're going to move into a pose called saint pose. So we're going to just go down again into forearm plank. And all we're going to do is just gently lower our body down. Okay, so our goal here is to have our elbows in line with our shoulders and our palm of the hands flat. And think of pulling, putting some pressure on the palm of your hands and kind of pulling yourself forward. We still want to be keeping our core engaged, so we don't want to be slouching down like this. Okay. And then shoulders away from our ears. Just stay here for a refuge. And just a gentle gaze, whatever is comfortable for you. There. If you want something a little bit more, you can push up into upward dog. We're not doing a full up dog. Push. Down. Put my head down on the mat. And then move back in. Here we're going to move back into child's pose for a nice stretch. Release and stretching your back a little bit. And so we're creating a lot of energy there, so we just want to allow that to settle down. And we can walk our hands back up. And we're going to end in thunderbolt. So on our knees, we're going to tuck our toes and lean back and stretch out part of our feet. And we can do some breath. Inhaling our arms up and around. And center. And one more. Inhaling up and around. And center and just let our energy feel in and prepare for the rest of our workout. Thank ourselves for being here and showing up. And that's it.
Right, thank you. That was great. I always need that stretch.
Yeah, a little extra stretching today.
Yes, good. Okay. So if you guys want to grab a sip of water really quick, we're going to start with a strengthening session. You can use dumbbells, ankle weights. So I mentioned last time, if you want to use ankle weights, you can actually put them around your wrist to help you with that. Actually, pin myself. There we go. Okay, there we go. Or you can use dumbbells, anything weighted. It doesn't have to be a weight. And let's get started. Okay. And you guys can hear me clearly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so we're gonna actually start with some bicep curls. So I'm starting with just one weight. And we're gonna start with this position. So we did this before. So this is just your hands facing each other and you're gonna be going up and down. And you can, for those of you who are new, you can pick whatever leg position you want. Feet together like this is easier than say like a lunge position. So if you want something a little bit more challenging, you can go to a lunge position and you're just gonna be drawing your belly button to your spine and then you're just going up and down. Okay, so we're gonna for about a minute. And then halfway through, we'll switch legs if that's the case. If you're doing both legs, then just keep that. So this is easy. Go a little bit lower. Shoulder blades together. Okay. And then you're gonna switch legs if you were in a lunge position. And then again, you're gonna go. So shoulder blades together, relax your neck, belly button to your spine, just bending from the elbows. You are not reaching from your shoulders, right? Your elbows stay in place. And you're also not leaning backwards because that's not good for your back. And then you won't get the work in your arms. Good job, guys. All right, so we're gonna switch, or I'm gonna switch rather, you don't have to switch. But the next one you're gonna do, next position is with your palm up, like so. Okay, so I'm just gonna do squat position. I'm gonna do one arm, and I'm just bringing this up to my shoulder. Okay. Oof. So if your weight feels easy, which mine does not, you can go down a little bit slower. The slower you go, the harder the muscle has to work. Okay, we'll switch hands if that's the case. If not, keep going. So belly button to your spine, relax your neck. Go lower if you want a little bit more challenge in your legs. Okay, good. And I'm gonna switch again. So this time we're gonna be doing palms down, like so, right? So knuckles up. But with this one, it's a little bit more awkward, but keep your elbows in, same idea. I'm just gonna be doing single leg and you're gonna be going up and down, like so. Okay, so just like that. This one helps with elbow stability. but you're also still working that upper arm. Relax your neck. Keep your legs tight, belly tight. Good job. I'm gonna switch. Just keep going. If the weights feel like too much, it's okay to use less or nothing. Make sure you're breathing. It's like Rita was saying, you don't wanna be holding your breath. If you're holding your breath, that's one way to know that it's too much. If your neck starts to get really tight and tense, that's when you know it's too much weight. Just go a little bit lighter. Okay. All right, so the next one we're gonna do is we're gonna do bent over. You're gonna row, and then you're gonna straighten out your arm. So you wanna keep your back straight. You're gonna pull and straighten out your arm. Okay, belly bend to your spine. Lost my rhythm, there we go. So this one too, you can kind of have a lunge position if you want, slightly bent over and out. If you have a belly like me, you might want to have your feet a little bit wider apart. You can bend over better. Elbows up, shoulder blades together, back, and then down. Good job, guys. Okay, I'm gonna switch feet. Keep those knees bent. Trunk forward, so you shouldn't be rounding out if that's something that's happening. Okay, let's see. So the next thing we're gonna do is just straight arms going forward. Okay, so your elbows, if the muscles are weak or the weight's too much, your elbows are gonna wanna bend, and that's fine as long as you're not shrugging, right? Ideally, we wanna do straight arm to shoulder height or higher. You can go higher, but I just don't want your neck to engage. Just to shoulder height for me, and then back down. Again, if your elbows start to bend like so, that's okay, but just keep it consistent. It's your body's way of telling you that, hey, this is a little bit easier and we could probably do more reps. We could go for that minute versus maybe you can only do a few reps with just going with your arms straight. Okay, so whatever works for you. You could even just do like a bent elbow like this. Good job. So neck relaxed, belly button to your spine. A few more. Good job. Okay, next one is you're gonna be doing rows. So again, you're gonna go into that kind of bent over position. What I'm gonna have you do this time is you're gonna pull your elbows to your side and then go down slow. Then you're gonna come out a little bit further, right? And then you're gonna come out a little bit further and then out to your shoulder height. So I'm gonna do this backwards. Sorry having my back to you, but my elbows are right next to me, slightly wider than that, and then shoulders, shoulder height, or shoulder distance. Okay, so to your sides, slightly wider, about 45 degrees, and then shoulder, the side of your shoulders. And then, whoop, lost my balance there. Okay. The same thing, you can switch legs if you want. You can have your feet together, but I want you to focus on your shoulder blades. Try to keep that space between the top of your shoulders and your ears. This will help you keep that nice, good posture when you're upright. You're strengthening your upper back muscles so that you can you don't have to work so hard to stay upright. Good job. Ten more seconds. Belly button to your spines, neck relaxed. All right. Okay, so the next one we're gonna do, so what we're gonna do next is actually, or I'm gonna do next, rather, is, I think I told you last time, so the lightest weight I had was 3 pounds. So we're actually gonna use, I'm actually gonna use these canna beans. They're a little bit over 1 pound. So not much, but I just wanted to show you. So you don't have to have dumbbells, right? So you're just gonna go up to the sides, out and down. Then up, out and down. Okay, so you can get creative with the weight you have. You don't have to go out and buy weights. If you have something at home, you know, you can start with whatever, because things have a certain weight to them. You know, as long as you can hold it in your hand safely, then you can use it. You might be surprised, some of the strongest people that I've seen are people who just, they're very active at home. They're doing a lot of chores, or people who work on farms. So they're not going out and like lifting kettlebells and dumbbells and barbells. They're just lifting, you know, whatever heavy object they have to move. And oftentimes they're doing it over and over again. And that's really where they get their strength. It's about consistency and challenging your muscles. So you can use whatever works for you. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna still use the beans. So you're gonna bend over. You're gonna row up to your shoulders, and then you're gonna bring your hands up. So what it looks like is I'm here, coming back, and then kind of flexing my arms. But I'm gonna do it bent over so I can do it against gravity. Okay? So belly button to your spine, keep the top of your shoulders away from your ears. Chin tucked in. You don't want to be hanging out like this, right? Back straight. Good job, guys. And take a break if you need, right? Like, this is a lot of movement. Last time we focused on just single plane movements, a little bit more simple. Now we're adding a little bit more rotation and moving into different planes of movement. And a lot of things to think about. The arms go in a lot of different directions, so you might be feeling it in different places. Good job. All right, shake it out a little bit. Okay, so still with the beans, or whatever weight you want to use, or no weight. So we're gonna do shoulder circles. So this might seem kind of silly, but it's gonna help with stability. So you're just making tiny circles. It's about staying controlled with your motion. So don't like be all over the place, and don't move your whole body. The movement is coming from your shoulders. Okay, and you're just gonna circle, and then we'll do a different position. Okay, good. And then add a little further. So relax your neck, belly button to your spine. Good. All right, circles to the sides. Whew. So it gets a lot of different muscles to kick in. You really have to work on coordination. You're gonna go the other way now. You're gonna go counterclockwise or clockwise, depending on what hand you're talking about. Good. All right, we're gonna go a little bit lower, kind of in front of our pockets. Small circles. If it feels easy, go a little bit faster. Good job, counterclock or opposite direction. Good. Whew. Good, and we're gonna go up high now. So this one, again, being really mindful of your neck. Relax your neck. You should feel it in your arms. Good job, guys. Good. Good. Out a little bit further. Work a little bit harder. Okay. Whoop. Good. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to this bent over position. Again, whatever position you want your feet, I'm gonna put my feet together, bent over. And this one, I have to come out a little bit further because I'm gonna run into the door. But you just bring your arms straight out. Chin tucked in and pulling out sideways. So you can use your can of beans, you can use your dumbbells, or just no weight at all. If the weight or no weight that you have feels too easy, try to come down a little bit slower. Really squeeze those shoulder blades as you're coming down. It'll make the muscle have to work a little bit harder. You might also feel a stretch in the front of your chest as you bring your arms back. And that's perfect because we do a lot of sitting, a lot of slouching. And so those muscles get tight and we wanna do an active stretch. So you're just pulling out, lengthening the muscle, letting it relax, pulling out, and then just lets you do a stretch without having to actually stop to do a stretch. Good job. Make sure you're breathing. All right, I'm gonna do the next one without weights or without beans. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come up to here, and you can do it with the weight if you want. You're gonna come up, you're gonna straighten out, you're gonna reach away, bend in, and come down. So this was if you joined us in the last session, you're imagining a roof in front of you. You're gonna go up, arms out, reaching away, bend in, and down. So this is gonna be a lot harder with weights. The reason I'm doing it is the pushing away feels a little bit harder for me than the lifting up and out. But I don't want to overcompensate. I want to do the movement correctly. Okay, and then I can even do it in a lunge position to make it a little bit harder on my body, but not necessarily my arms. All right, good job, guys. Make sure you're breathing. Your arms might be a little bit tired, a little sore after. Forgot to switch legs, but that's okay. More seconds. All right, good job. All right, so we're gonna start at the top again. We're gonna start with the bicep curls. Okay, so we're gonna start with neutral. Palms facing each other. Pick a position you like. And then you're just gonna bend those elbows. Remember, shoulder blades together. Belly button to your spine. Neck relaxed. Good job. All right, and go ahead and switch legs if that was something you were doing. Whoop, without falling over. Good job. You can use 2 dumbbells, you can use 1, whatever works best for you. Good. Okay, so we're gonna switch hand positions. I'm doing palms up, and then switch legs, and then down. So this position gets that middle of your upper arm. So when you're like flexing your muscles like Popeye, that's that muscle. So hand position really matters. And actually what people don't know is people think that this motion, like doing some curls, that's the main motion of the biceps, but it's actually being able to flip your hand upward. So that's another exercise to incorporate. I'm gonna switch feet. Good job. So belly button to your spine, neck relaxed. Get lower if you can. Good job. Make sure you're breathing. All right. Good. All right. Gonna switch to other weights. So palms down this time. I'm just gonna go into a low squat. Okay. Just like so. Woo. So this position tends to be a little bit weaker, just because we tend to do a lot of stuff here and a lot of stuff here. So this position gets neglected a bit, unless you are intentionally like a bodybuilder or weightlifter. But it's good. It helps stabilize the elbow. And it's just good to train yourself in different positions. So breathe. Just put those knees together. Belly button to your spine. Whew. Chest up. Make sure you're not letting yourself slouch. All right, as you get tired, you're gonna wanna slouch. You're gonna wanna use your back, so don't do that. Whew. All right, it's amazing what just a few small weights can do. And you really need to adjust because, especially in your arms, these curls, people tend to use a lot more weight, but you have other motions that you do that require smaller weights, otherwise you're more likely to compensate, right, and use the wrong muscles. All right, so we're gonna do the tricep extensions, okay? So I'm gonna do like a wide position this time, rowing up, straightening my arms. Good. Shoulder blades together, elbows straight, down slow, chin to your neck. Keep those legs tight. Imagine that you have a straight line from your tailbone to the top of your head, or that you're trying to balance like a stick or a broom or something there. You should feel this in the back of your arms. Good job. Whew. So you might feel a bit more stiff in your shoulders, maybe your neck and your upper back later on, today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. Just make sure that you are moving. Move your shoulder blades around. Just keep yourself moving so things don't get too stiff. It's just a part of exercising. Okay, good job. All right, so we're gonna do the elbow straight, like so. Okay, I'm gonna do one leg. There we go, good. Whew. Good job showing up, guys. You're almost there to the weekend. I guess depending on when you're watching this video, but yeah. Neck relaxed, belly button to your spine, leg tight. Good, switch. My legs are a little bit wobblier this morning. Good thing I'm doing this balance exercise. So, again, check in that you're not working your neck, that you're more feeling it in your shoulders. If you feel like you are, you can actually go a little bit lower too, so that you're not kicking in the neck so much. Just like that. All right, good job. All right, we're gonna do bent over rows. have to remind myself first. So this was the one where you're going to your side, slightly further out, about 45 degrees, and then shoulder height. Okay, so the reason we're doing different angles is because we're getting different muscle fibers, and it also forces us to have to control our shoulder position, making sure that that you can do these different motions without actually pulling your neck to your ears, right? So that's an important thing to be able to do. We might be doing exercises, like specific exercises, and they don't translate to real life activities. So you want to make sure that you're actually using functional positions, different positions, so that you are able to automatically do certain positions and motions without having to think about it very much. Like you want to be able to take that trash bag out of your trash can without having to think really hard about it. Like, okay, bend your knees, now belly. Like you want it to kind of come automatically. Whew. Good job, guys. And take a break if you need. I'm just gonna stop here because I had my back to the camera, didn't actually check the time. All right, so I'm gonna switch over to my beans. All right, so this is up and out and down. Okay, good. And again, these exercises might not feel like much right now. So you can go a little bit slower, but also just be aware that you might feel a bit more sore later down the line. It's doing different motions that your body isn't doing currently can make you sore, even if it doesn't seem like you're doing very much, because sometimes you're using different muscles, sometimes you're stretching things out in ways that they haven't been stretching in a while. So, but that's a good thing. That's what we want, right? That's what the point of the exercise is. Ooh. 10 more seconds. Check in with that neck. All right, I'm gonna put down the weight for the next ones, which is gonna be coming out and then up, down, okay, elbows up, up, hands up, and then down. Elbows up, hands up. This is a lot more rotation in the shoulders. If you can't go all the way up, don't worry about how high you go. Just make sure that you are doing the motion. So even if I'm doing this and this, I'm engaging the same muscles, right? So at least I'm working on my range of motion. I'm working on those specific muscles. And then over time, you know, you get more range, you make more progress. So it can be really frustrating if you're trying to do a movement, you can't do it. But the thing is, even if you do pieces of the movement and you do it over time, you will improve, because that's how our bodies are designed. Our bodies adapt. So I tell people, like, when you come to physical therapy, for example, we don't really heal you. We don't really like do these things for you. We just kind of give you advice. We give you guidelines, and then you do the work, and then your body does the work and adapts. And that's really what makes the difference. So it's amazing how our bodies heal. We just have to sometimes give it the right environment and the right cues to do the right thing. All right, 3 more exercises, we're almost there. All right, so arms out, circles. Okay, so again, whatever position works best for you. All right, we'll go out a little bit further. Hope I'm not like squishing these beans. They're still usable later for like fajitas. All right, out a little further. Good. Relax your neck. You should feel it in your shoulders. You're gonna go down this time. It doesn't have to be like a perfect exact position, right? It's just, we're just trying different angles, working different muscles, different muscle fibers at different points. Add a little, back a little bit, okay? Good job. Go counterclockwise, or the other way. Go the other way. Good. Again, just breathe. Make sure you're keeping your neck relaxed. If we go high and you're feeling it in your neck, just go a little bit lower. Okay? Keep that neck relaxed. Good. And then out in front of you. So this area actually tends to be a little bit stronger, where we tend to be a little bit stronger because we do so much stuff right in front of us that like the end ranges are usually weaker. So if you were doing a couple sets like here, you could actually use a heavier weight. And then if you wanted to go up high, you could do a lighter weight, just so that you're doing the exercise correctly. So you're always adjusting to your body. Okay, so we're gonna do actually, stick with the beans again. The bent over fly, so you're here, arms straight out, you're at a T, and then down again. Okay, your chest stays up, your belly button goes down, and then you're just drawing your belly button towards your spine. Good job. Whew. We're almost there. Second to last exercise. So again, you can keep the range small. You can go up. If you're one of those people who are super flexible and you use this range back here, like if you're a gymnast, or maybe you're just a parent who likes to reach to the back seat of the car to have to give their kid something, it's good to go a little bit past the shoulder so you're strengthening that range as well. Because isn't it weird when you reach back and your arm's weak and it feels really weird, right? So you want to make sure you're strengthening that range as well. Good job. Almost there. Five more seconds. Keep that belly button to your spine. All right, good. All right, so I'm gonna use one. When I first did the exercise, I didn't do any weight, but even 1 pound is something, right? Just to challenge your muscles. Because again, these are smaller muscles. So I'm going here, reaching out and reaching up, and then coming back in, bend, and down. So up, straighten your elbows, reach up the roof, down, bend the elbows, and then back down, okay? So for the first two movements, this movement, reaching out and reaching up, it's really easy with this, it's reaching up, reaching out. It's really easy with the can. But once you have a longer lever, like further out from your body you are, that weight feels like more weight than it does close to your body. So you have to keep that in mind too. So it can be tough to pick a weight when you're doing different exercises or exercises with more complex movements, because you might feel strong with one part of the motion, but then you go to do another part of it and you're like, ugh, and you compensate and it's uncomfortable, or you can't really do it right, and you can't coordinate yourself. So you really have to, one, go for the lighter weight until that motion gets stronger, and also do some accessory exercises. So I'm doing this combined motion, but if I wanted to get stronger with just reaching out, I might just do this, add this exercise just to isolate that movement with a lighter weight, like, or no weight. Okay, almost done. So this is a great exercise too to do for someone who has to reach into shelves, which is most of us, right? You might be reaching into like your kitchen cabinet, trying to put your stuff away when you get home. Okay, so you might even, so we're doing it two hands, but you might even do it with one hand, and you might even do it just a little bit smoother, right? I mostly do it more robotically just to make sure you are getting the movement down. Ooh. Okay, all right, that's it, guys. Ooh. So, hope you're a little tired. Let me read it back up here as well. There we go. All right, so thank you guys for coming. Let us know if you have any questions, whether it's exercise-related questions or nutrition questions. If you have questions now, let us know. You can unmute yourself, or you can put the question in the chat, or not, and you can always post in the Facebook group.
And Sonia, I just wanted to say thank you for a great workout. I love all the shoulders and the arms. That was great. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. And then Rita, you won't be here next week, right?
Next week I won't. Yeah, just because I have another commitment that I'm not able to rearrange, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's okay. But you're going to be recording your exercises, correct? So
I am. Yes, yeah. I'm going to record the warm up, so I won't be here physically, but I will be in spirit.
Yes, yeah. So I will just play the recording at the beginning, and then we'll take it from there. So if you guys have any questions, anything, you can always just, because Rita won't be here for the next session, you can always message her on Facebook, or maybe you can even post your contact information in the Facebook group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds good. So it doesn't seem like anyone has any questions. Thank you guys for all your compliments, and thank you for joining us. And we hope you have a fantastic week, and see you next week for the very last session. All right. Happy Thursday.
Yeah, happy Thursday. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye.